Hey everybody, it's Coach Matt Ellis from Primal Athlete Training Center here in Cranston, Rhode Island. Coming to you today with another one of our shot put drills and skills videos, some common faults and corrections, and some tips that you guys can take out to practice tomorrow to help improve your throws. Before we get to today's video, I wanted to just take a second and thank all the athletes that showed up yesterday, February 6th, this past Sunday, for our free shot put clinic that was held at the new indoor track at Central High School. We had 21 athletes show up and their coaches, real dedicated, committed athletes, sort of the future of the throwers in the state of Rhode Island who showed up and were willing to sacrifice an hour and a half on a Sunday to help improve their form, to help improve their technique, and help hopefully jump a few spots in the state rankings before the end of the year. Now these guys took the time, these guys took the effort, and they showed up, they worked hard for an hour and a half, they all showed improvement, and they all went home with some homework, some tips that they can do at practice this week to help improve their throws. That's what separates just your average thrower from your championship caliber thrower. They sacrificed their time, they sacrificed their energy, they made the effort, they showed up, they worked hard, and that's all we can ask of everybody. So we hope to see you all there. A lot of the coaches and a lot of the kids already said they were going to invite their teammates and they were going to invite the rest of their team up to show up next week for our next clinic, February 13th. Same exact time, 1 to 2:30, same place, new indoor track at Central High School. It's right before the championship meets at the end of the year, so we hope to see you all present. All right, now today's video deals with sort of the next step of the glide shot put. That's transitioning from the back of the circle and transitioning to the middle of the circle into that proper power position. And it's pretty simple. When you take a look at a throw, if you ever watch any video of any top throwers, any top gliders in the world, you'll notice that the back of the circle looks exactly like a power position, except for the foot is facing 12 o'clock and they're a little bit lower. Okay, the reason for that, the foot is facing 12 o'clock so you can properly push off the heel like we talked about in the last video, and they're a little bit lower to keep that proper angle of release, to properly increase from low in the back of the circle to medium in the middle and higher and highest at the end, which of course we talked about in video 6 in our last video. Now we have to talk about, well, how do we do that? How do we go from the back of the circle to the middle of the circle without really screwing anything up, without messing up too much? Well, what we need to do is we need to talk about how you properly take that power leg and suck that leg up underneath you and turn the knee and the foot toward 9 o'clock. Okay, because really all we're doing is we're in a power position in the back of the circle with our feet forward, and as we explode off the heel, like we talked about in the last video, we need to learn how to suck that leg up underneath us and get the knee and the foot pointed towards 9 o'clock. Well, one of the best ways that we do that is with the drill I'm going to show you today. Okay, before we get to that, I'm just going to show you an example of what I mean, going low and then landing in the medium height, landing in that proper power position. So just follow the path of my head. When we start out in the back of the circle, all of our weight is over this front foot. Okay, we check that by picking up the back foot. The same way that we do it in the power position, we just pick up the back foot and make sure all of our weight is over the power leg. Okay. So the same exact checkpoint, back of the circle, low power position, we make sure that all the weight's over the front, which it is. Now from here, like we talked about in previous videos, we bring the foot in, bring the knees together, and our butt starts to roll backwards. As it rolls backwards, we explode off the heel and land in that power position. Okay. Now we just recheck. Is all of our weight back? Yes, it is. I can pick up that back leg. Means all my weight is over the power leg. And my knee and my foot is now pointed towards 9 o'clock. Well, it's a lot easier said than done. If you've never really thought about that before, if you've never known about the exploding off the heel, turning the knee and the foot, it can be sort of a tough thing to pick up without any help. Well, here's how you do it. What I've done is I've taken 2 of our heavier kettlebells and I've made an anchor on the ground. Okay? I've also got a light stretch band. Now, if you don't have the kettlebells or the stretch band, what you can do is have one of your teammates hold the end of a towel, and you can hold the other end of the towel. If you're near a chain link fence and have a piece of rope, you can tie a piece of rope around a chain link fence. If there's a telephone pole, if there's a tree, if there's some heavy weights, maybe the milk crate that has a bunch of the shot puts in it, what you guys can do is just tie a rope or tie a band around that crate, around the tree, whatever stationary object you might have near your circle, and you can do this exercise real simply. Let me show you how it works. So we're in the back of the circle. We've got the band in our hand. It's got no stretch on it. It's nice and loose. We'll get down in a proper power position. As we bring the foot in, remember our butt drops, and when we explode, we push off the heel. Now as we land in the power position, we simply check to make sure our weight is back. And you can see what happens. The band resists. As you go backwards, the band will stop you from making your weight move forward. All right, let me show you one more time. In the back of the circle, good posture, nice and low. Bring the foot in, explode off the heel, and the band resists you from coming up and standing forward. It actively pulls you back. Now from here, all we do is release the band, turn the feet, and finish the throw. And we showed you all that in the previous videos. So again, resist your upper body to keep the weight back, and that way you can focus on turning that foot and turning that knee from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock, landing in that proper power position. Thanks again for checking out the videos. Again, a huge thank you to all the athletes that showed up Sunday for our free shot clinic. Again, we're doing it next Sunday, February 13th, 1 o'clock to 2:30. We hope to see you all there. Thanks again.